Hello, I'm Paul Peterson, and welcome to Aging Well in Los Angeles. Today we are at the Hughes Adult Center in Woodland Hills, and we're going to be talking with some very interesting guests who have important information for all of you seniors and caregivers out there. It's very important, and I hope you stay tuned to Aging Well in LA. Hi, Paul Peterson again. Welcome back to Aging Well in LA. We have some serious things to discuss today, and with us first, Nancy Farah, or Safara?
Farah.
You told me to throw the S out.
No, I said slur them together.
Oh, slur them together. Safara, I got it, Nancy Slur. And what's your title here?
I'm assistant principal
I
at
see.
El Camino Reseda Adult School.
Adult school, and that's
Right.
very important. And sitting to your left, Marjorie Snyder, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Thanks so much for making time. I've actually looked forward to this discussion because it seems that programs that took a long time to develop are under assault, and this budget knife is, it's down to the muscle now. Nancy, from your perspective, how do you see the next couple of years here as we struggle with the economic realities?
I hate to say it, but I think that the program will be completely decimated.
Oh.
And we're fighting to keep them alive, especially the ones for the active adults.
Mm-hmm.
The exercise classes, mental fitness classes,
Right.
Classes, Tai Chi, yoga, important classes to help the physical and mental being of the older adults.
Yes, and they need that support because so many are alone. Somehow their families or their communities seem to have abandoned them. And your focus is, Marjorie?
I'm a reading teacher,
Reading.
and I do GED preparation.
Wow.
But I do have older adults in my classes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really a wonderful experience for them. Keeps them
Yeah,
young,
sure.
keeps them on their toes, and they become better readers and writers at the same time.
Good. More letters to the editors, I hope.
And I'm very fortunate in that I have older adults from the other classes working in my classes as volunteers.
As volunteers, well, that is a natural thing for
Yeah.
seniors. Many times you think, well, I can put my burdens down, and then you look around and you go, wait a minute, I can go help here. I can be active. I'm serving a meal or helping a struggling student to achieve what they're capable of. Mm-hmm. That's very heartening. I love to hear the stories of the 70-year-old grandmother who's gone back to school and gets her high school diploma, and the next thing you know, she's in junior college someplace.
That's right. And these people are really doing my students a wonderful service because I have adults who are functionally illiterate.
Yes.
And these people come in and they have the patience of saints, and they sit with the students one-on-one, and they blossom. My students blossom, and they go on to the GED program and the high school diploma program and to college. And it's really because of all that special attention.
Yeah. It's funny. The program, of course, all of us have heard about reading is fundamental. That people forget what a terrible burden it is to not be able to read, to participate. So what's the outlook with these programs? And we just mentioned one, whether it's ESL or getting your GED when you're older. I don't know what to do.
Nor do we. We are absolutely fighting every which way we can to get the program to keep intact. At least the ones that, like I said, the active adults, because we have some programs for adults that are in the residential homes.
Right, of course.
And those students need the services as well, but the active adults especially, because it keeps them sharp.
Well, I have often said to people, sometimes I think the world is upside down. We are paying more attention to people who are swiping a check from the government trough than the people who are active and engaged and have contributed their whole lives. And I have a program, it's called Goya, Get Off Your Butt. You know, if you don't contribute, who says you're supposed to get? I don't know where that ever came from. These people that you deal with are part of our society. They help build this country, and this city in particular.
We were going to close a class, and the students wrote letters to the board members, and they shared how meaningful these classes were because it gave them a purpose, it gave them somewhere to go and to look forward to and to connect with other people their age. They felt useful.
Well, Nancy, let me ask this question because I find this of keen interest. What about their support structures? Were their families actively supporting them, or were they out there on their own, just, you know, seniors making noise?
They were seniors making noise.
I got you. I got you. Because somehow or another, that separation, families say, oh, the state will take care of them, or there are programs for them. I don't have to be bothered. Wait a second, you better be bothered because it's going to be you in 20 years. You see that, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely, especially with the baby boomers. I mean, we're not going to take it sitting down. We're going to get out there and fight for these classes.
I sure hope so. This is popular talk show host here. You know, this really is pitchfork and torches now.
When I told, oh, I'm sorry.
No, please, you can't interrupt me. I want to hear from you.
When I told my one class, this was about a year and a half ago, that my class might be closed, my older adult students, particularly one, Maluk, started to cry. She says, what's going to happen to us?
Yes.
It was heartbreaking.
Well, sure it is. Of course it is.
Don't we matter?
Yeah. Don't we matter?
Yeah.
We have to take a short break. We'll be back to this interesting, I hope you find this interesting conversation. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Medication management is something we need to talk about because it's so important to have knowledge about the medications being used, as well as understanding potential side effects. When in doubt, ask questions of the doctor or pharmacist for clarity. For example, are there specific times of day to take the medication? Are there foods that may interact with the medication? How long will you be on this medication? What if a dose is missed? Do you skip it or double up? Develop a system to better track which medications are being taken. It makes it much easier to keep track of things when they're written down. Especially if the care receiver needs to go to the hospital or if paramedics are called to your home, having a list of medications, the dosage and frequency that the person takes the medication can ensure safer treatment for them. File of Life is one way of managing your medication. It provides an insert that has all the pertinent medical information necessary in case of an emergency. It has a magnet on the back so that this little packet could just stay right on a refrigerator for easy access. Inside is this double-sided form that has all of the information that you need about your medical conditions, your medications, the dose, and the frequency can be very helpful. Plus, you also have the wallet size that you can take with you wherever you go. File of Life is available through the Department of Aging, so just call and ask for it. So why is medication management important? On average, older adults take more than 5 medications daily, including the dietary supplements. Each year, there are approximately 800,000 adverse drug events, also known as overdoses. Oftentimes, older adults see several specialists in addition to their primary doctor, and some patients may forget to tell one doctor about what the other doctor prescribed, and that could cause negative effects. Sometimes there are multiple pharmacies involved, and so warnings are not activated by the pharmacy because they're unaware of what other prescriptions are being used by the same patient. Think about it. Do you know the names and dosage of your medications or the ones being used by your care receiver? Often we know by color and shape of a pill which to take at which time of day, but we're not clear on which of these pills is for which of these ailments. It's important to know the difference. Having good medication management can result in a decrease in falls, unnecessary hospitalizations, emergency room visits, admissions into skilled nursing facilities, and an overall improvement of mental status. Also, in the event of emergencies like earthquakes, mudslides, or evacuations, a person may have to leave their home without their medications. It's important to know what you need replaced, what the dosage is, the frequency. So get to know your medications.
I'm delighted to be able to tell you about a special program that we have, which is Senior Pets for Senior Citizens. And what we know about having companion animals in our lives is that they make us happier, they make us smile, they reduce our blood pressure, and they greet us when we come home from wherever we've been, whether it's a walk or whatever. The other thing that as we get older and we get a little bit more sedentary in our lives, having a companion animal probably increases your exercise. You'll get up, you'll take care of your pet, you'll take your companion animal for a little walk. If it's a kitty, you'll clean your litter box. And when you remember to feed your companion animal, that's a reminder that it's time for you to eat too. So, you know, we just know that having a companion animal is the best way to enrich your life and to enrich their life, because they need you too. Each year at Los Angeles Animal Services, we have over 50,000 companion animals that come through our 6 shelters. So we have a selection that you won't believe until you come and see it. We have kitties of all ages, from kittens to mature cats. I actually would recommend a mature cat. They're a whole lot easier. We have dogs from puppies to mature dogs. Again, I would recommend a mature dog because they're a little bit easier to handle and take care of. And we have love in all size packages. So come on down to Los Angeles Animal Services, any one of our 6 shelters, meet our amazing animals. We have love just waiting for you.
Hey, buddy! Don't you know you should never leave a cooking pan unattended? And a working smoke detector can warn you of a fire. Like the one behind me. My hero!
Next time, listen to the ball. Have a smoke detector and a fire extinguisher that work.
How'd you know?
The ball called.
Yes, I know I'm late. I'll be there soon.
It's better to lose 1 minute of your life than your life in 1 minute. Watch the road.
Hello, I'm Dr. Scott Kaiser, board-certified family physician specializing in geriatric medicine, and welcome to The Empowered Patient. On The Empowered Patient, we like to talk about ways that we can take charge of our health and live longer and better. So today we're talking about physical activity and exercise, and I'm here with Julia. Hi, Julia. Nice to see you again. And we had you on before, Julia. You're also Robert Cox's caregiver. I know. Let's get you stopped on the treadmill here. All right. Very good. Very good. So we all set here. So we're talking. It's nice to see you guys working out. Yeah. So tell me about this.
Well, that booklet that you gave us a copy of is wonderful, because I never realized before how important it was to at least let your doctor know, you know, before you do exercise.
Right.
Just to be on the safe side, right?
To be on the safe side. So you're referring to our booklet here from the National Institute on Aging,
That's
Exercise and Physical Activity. It's part of the Go for Life campaign.
Yes.
And there is a section in here that reminds you that if you have chronic medical conditions or if it's been a long time since you exercised, better safe than sorry if you're in doubt on those issues.
Yes.
Just go ahead and consult with your doctor before starting your exercise program.
Yes, because in Bob's case, he's had some problems, health problems, and the doctor said he must just have moderate exercise.
Right.
So that helped us a great deal.
And that's something that's outlined in the booklet, the difference between mild, moderate, and vigorous exercise.
Absolutely, and we're very grateful for
And
that.
the take-home point on that really is that exercise is likely pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
I can't really think of anybody who couldn't benefit from some physical activity exercise plan.
Absolutely. We walk a great deal and we dance, but this is a specialized type of thing to work out some of the upper body we've kind of neglected.
Right, right. So there
We're gonna go
you
on
could
that.
tailor your exercise program
Right.
to you.
We're gonna
And
do
if
that.
you've had surgeries or if you have certain medical conditions, you might need to tailor your exercise regimen in specific ways.
Absolutely.
So the safe bet is
That's
just
right.
talk to your doctor about it before you start.
Absolutely, that's what we're doing. And
That's great.
Thank you so much for that booklet.
Absolutely,
For your
absolutely.
good work.
And I'd even encourage you, as you guys continue to exercise, let your doctor know how you're doing. You have these sheets in here
Yeah.
where you can track your progress.
We will.
And I know that you've been filling these in. Take them to your doctor's office. I'm sure Mr. Cox's physicians and your physicians would love to know the progress you're making.
That's important because I know it did say earlier on that you should keep your doctor aware of different circumstances, and so this is a wonderful idea.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you so much for
Okay.
having us.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cox. So you heard it here first from an empowered patient, an empowered caregiver, that we can use this booklet, Exercise and Physical Activity. We can get active, we can get fit, and we can live longer and better. You can order this booklet from the National Institute on Aging. Just call us at the number below and we'll send you out a free booklet. And we want to hear from you.
I'm staying active every day. I'm in charge of my health.
Hello and welcome back to The Empowered Patient. We're here at the Hollywood Senior Center at the brand new Wellness Center, and I'm talking with Frank Newhouse. Always good to see you, Frank.
Same here, Doctor.
So I understand exercise is an important part of your life, and why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I figure it's the fountain of youth, that if you are willing to put in the time, that the rewards are immense. I walk at least 5 miles a day, 5 days a week, sometimes 6. I go to the gym 2 times a week. I used to do 3. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't drug, I don't burn the candle at both ends, and I think, coming up on 76 this month, I think it has paid off. I'm delighted with the results.
Great, so you're feeling good.
Oh, yeah.
You feel full of energy, and
Yeah.
and you feel that's related to your physical
Oh, yeah.
activity.
Yeah, you just can't beat yourself up consistently year after year and expect good things to happen. Some people are freaks of nature. I don't want to roll the dice on that and say, well, I'm going to be the exception to the rule.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's great to hear. You see that a lot of people out there have a misconception that as you're getting older, you shouldn't exercise, and that it could be dangerous. But I think that what we're learning here is that if you're doing it in a way where you have a plan, it can be a great thing. And I know that you've used this booklet here.
I have.
Exercise and Physical Activity.
Mm-hmm.
This is a product of the National Institute on Aging, free and available to anybody who might be watching at home. And so tell me, how have you used this booklet to enhance your already very active lifestyle?
Well, I read through it, and I noticed the specificity of the exercises. And there were some things in there that interested me particularly, like the balance. My balance is not what it used to be, and so I'm going to try some of those exercises and find out about others, because I've heard people talk about improving your balance, and it can be done. And I noticed that coming downstairs, that going up a hill doesn't bother me, but if I'm coming downstairs in a house, my knees they're trying to tell me something. And so I'm taking glucosamine chondroitin.
So you're highlighting a great point here, is that here you are, you're somebody, you've been active. When did you say you started exercising regularly?
At age 30.
Okay, so for a good amount of time, you've been regularly active on a good regimen, but there's still some things that you thought you could add to it.
Yeah.
And so that there might be people out there watching at home who already say, oh, I'm already active, what else do I need? But you read through this booklet and you said, I have good strength and endurance, but I really could work on my balance a little more.
Yeah. And I liked the fact that they were talking about liquids. And I drink 24 ounces of water every day. And I think that it has helped. And I'm glad that they recognize that fact.
Yeah, that's great. There is a whole section in here about staying hydrated, and that's important because a lot of people, as they age, might sweat less than they used to.
I do.
And if you really break it down on a scientific level, the whole thirst mechanism sometimes changes as we're aging. So sometimes it's very important that you might not feel thirsty, you might not notice you're sweating a lot, but that you need to continue to drink a lot of fluids before, during, and after physical activity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great point. It's right here in this booklet.
And I changed my regimen as far as weights go. I used to use more weight. And a friend of mine who he's 72, he has the body of a 25-year-old. And he's lowered the weight that he uses, but increased the reps.
Increase the reps, the repetitions.
Exactly.
So more of the same movement.
That's right.
With a lighter weight.
Yeah.
So your goal is about 10 to 15 repetitions?
Well, with 12 pounds, I'll do 100 curls, and then I'll do 100 shrugs.
Oh, great.
So I use light weights.
Okay, so you use light weights and high reps, and you found that that's what works for you.
He says it works better.
Okay, well, it's different. You know, it's going to be different what works for different people. What's recommended is the 10 to 15 repetitions is a good starting point, because then you can find if it's too little. If the weight's too much, you can't do the full 10 reps, you know, and if the weight's not enough, you might be going on and on.
Exactly.
But, so that's great. So you're staying active, and it's great to see you here at the Wellness Center. I know that that's another great resource for a lot of people out there. To call your local senior center, call the Department of Aging, find out what's available in your area. And it's just always a pleasure to have you, on The Empowered Patient.
Glad to be here.
All right. So here we have Frank Newhouse showing us how we can live longer, live better. As Frank likes to say, keep our bodies out of the clutches of the medical system, if you know, we're able to. And it's good to have you. So please give us a call. We want to hear from you, and we look forward to hearing your comments. And we have these booklets available, exercise and physical activity. So just give us a call, and we'll send you out a booklet. And great having you.
Welcome back to Aging Well in LA. We're visiting with Nancy Sfera, and joined now by Michael Hughes. Michael, thank you.
Thank
you.
We
had a chance to talk beforehand. You're an amazing guy. You're talking, teaching ESL classes? Correct?
Well, yes, but my big joy, I'm teaching Spanish to seniors at One Generation Senior Center.
Oh, people who don't have a facility in Spanish?
No, many of them, they're there. They've been with the class I've been with the class 2 years, and a number of them were with the class prior to my joining the class.
That's fantastic.
They're wonderful. They're turned on. They want to learn. And it's just an exciting place to be.
Well, you can't live in Los Angeles and not recognize how useful this is to be able to communicate with people.
I have one student who just turned 91.
Oh.
And she comes to class every week.
Isn't that wonderful? Holy cow. I wish I had that kind of strength and durability. Who knows? So, what is the outlook for a class like Michael is teaching? I mean, I know that's not traditional education, so is it off the radar screen entirely?
It is, unfortunately. The district is focusing on programs that are going to get people jobs.
Yes.
And with the older adult program, they know that they're not going to be out there getting jobs.
But nobody,
most likely.
given the realities, and you folks at home, you know this, who gets to retire anymore? Well, people these days, so what are you going to retire from? You can't afford to retire. People who are seniors are going to be in the workforce. They need to be trained and educated, and a place has to be made for them. Now, Nancy, do you make special accommodations for people who are hearing impaired or maybe visually impaired, as so many of our seniors are?
We do have a sign language class, and not necessarily for people that were born hearing impaired, but those that are getting older and becoming hearing impaired. Yeah. And it's to teach them to be able to communicate with either their spouse who's losing their hearing or if they're losing their hearing.
Right, because it's hard to communicate, especially with caregivers in a different language, oftentimes. What about transportation? Are you seeing cutbacks there? Ooh, I hit a hot button.
Yes, there is cutbacks in transportation. I mean, unfortunately, everything has been hit hard.
All right, so the solution is not just paying more taxes, if that's required. We got to start speaking up. Our whole senior community, and I'm a part of this, we've got to start getting people's attention. You know, like, maybe it comes down to, hey, Sonny, get over here.
No, absolutely. They need to be, the older adults need to know where they can go, who they can contact. When our program first started getting cut, we let them know where the who their council people were, who to contact.
Yeah.
And a lot of them did write letters,
Oh,
but it's a
goodness.
small, proportion of the older adults that did it. We need more involvement.
You won't remember this, but Mike, you will. When the Grey Panthers got started.
Of
about
course.
20
Yes.
It was fabulous. That's these people who were alive and vital, and it wasn't, they weren't demanding something they didn't deserve. They were asking for parity and equality and some recognition that our older citizens are worth something. They are wise.
Well, the seniors at One Generation are alive and active, and I have had until this last year just one class. Now it's been expanded. I have 2 Spanish classes at One Generation because we had enough students. We had a bunch that said, oh, that's an advanced class. We want to start a beginning class.
Wow.
So I have 2 full classes.
Isn't that amazing?
It's wonderful. It's
Now, when you say
inspiring.
full, how many people are we talking about?
20.
Wow. That's a handful for
Yes,
any teacher.
yes,
It
yes.
would be.
And they inspire me because what I love is I can share with them, I can share their experiences. We can talk about the music that I love of their era.
Yes.
We can talk about stars and performers of that era.
Yeah.
And it's like they understand where I'm coming from and my loves. And it's a vital, loving experience. And I
I understand that as a kid who grew up on a television show from way back when. Nancy, can people contact you through One Generation, or are you here at the adult school?
I'm here at the adult school,
okay.
but I'm in close contact with One Generation, and they can contact me through there too.
It's an impressive organization. I
Yes, it
was
is.
amazed at our last visit there. I loved it, whether it was the dancing teachers
Mm-hmm.
and the nutrition. So important. There was a cooking class going on.
Yes,
I
and they
love
get a
that.
certificate, so they can go out and get jobs with
That's
the certificate in restaurants.
Maybe the
And
answer-
there is a singing class on
really?
Mondays. They have a petition, and the songs they're singing are the songs I love. And I'm teaching my little lesson, and on the other side of the petition, we have Rodgers and Hart.
Yeah,
we have
it's some enchanted evening.
of that too. They meet. They have a pianist, and they sing these songs. They have people get up and do individual, and they're not afraid. No, they're not Barbra Streisand.
Yeah.
But they get up and they're courageous and they sing, and I say, good for you.
That's the best. Maybe the true answer, folks, is maybe we ought to take care of ourselves. Anyway, thank you both so much. Nancy, a pleasure to see you again. And Mike, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank
Pleasure.
you. And we'll see you the next time on Aging Well in L.A.